Thousands of U.S. doctors are living paycheck to paycheck despite earning six figures a year. But it's not because they're bad with money. It's because they've been sold a false idea of success. Today, I'm going to break down why so many high-earning doctors are feeling financially trapped and how redefining success can set you free. Hi, I'm Dr. Shamim Nazir. I'm a physician like many of you. And I have seen firsthand how many doctors can get behind and feel financially trapped despite earning impressive salaries. So if you're feeling stressed about money, stuck in the cycle of working and spending, and wondering why your financial life doesn't feel as secure as it should, first know this: it's not your fault and you're not alone. We were never taught to prioritize our vision of success. We've been conditioned to chase someone else's version of success. Society tells us that success means having luxury cars and a big house and taking fancy vacations. And when you're a doctor, there's a lot of pressure to look good and look successful. Let's be honest, if a doctor is driving an old Toyota or living in a modest home, people start to wonder, can't they get a good job? Is there something wrong with them? Are they struggling? We internalize those assumptions and we fear being seen as less than. So we spend to look the part, sometimes at the expense of our own financial peace. The truth is that a high income doesn't equate to wealth. Wealth is what you keep, not what you earn. And many doctors feel the stress of long hours and managing burnout and still feeling financially insecure. Why? Because their income is tied up in big mortgages and car payments, private school tuitions, lifestyle inflation. And let's not forget the student loan debt. We're taught to work hard and climb the ladder, but we're never taught to pause and ask, why are we doing all this? That's why so many of us feel stuck and burned out. So what's the answer? It starts with redefining success. True success is not about how much you earn or what you can buy. It's about freedom, time freedom, the freedom to do what you want and live life on your own terms. So how do you get there? A lot of financial planners would tell you to calculate how much money you need for retirement or for various goals, and then reverse engineer how much you need to save and invest to get to that number. It's a lot of number crunching and not a lot of fun. But I think it doesn't matter what strategy you devise if you can't stick with it. As Morgan Housel says in his book, Psychology of Money, you're not a spreadsheet, you're a person, a screwed up emotional person. Of course, we need to do a little number crunching once in a while to make sure that we know where we are and keep us on track. But more importantly, we need to align our values, emotions, and actions. When we are aligned and we know why we're doing what we're doing, it's so much easier to create and execute a plan. So I look at financial planning in broad strokes through a three-step simple process: acknowledge, align, and act. So let's walk through each one. Step one is acknowledge. Acknowledge who you are, what's your personality, your inclinations, your attitudes about money, and take inventory of your life and your financial reality. Look at what you own, your assets, what you owe, your liabilities, your debts, and what you earn and spend, your income and expenses. Yes, it might feel uncomfortable and you may not like the number, but that's okay. This is not about guilt, it's about clarity. Think of it like Google Maps. You can't get directions to where you want to go if you don't tell it where you are. So just own it. Maybe you made financial mistakes. Maybe you feel behind. Maybe you imagine others are doing better. But trust me, I hear the stories. I see the stress. You're not alone and you're not lost. In the world of financial planning, this inventory is called a personal financial statement. If you want to see a sample financial statement, I've attached a PDF below. But if you don't like filling out these complex forms, you can use an app like Rocket Money and just connect all your accounts and it will keep track of your net worth for you. I think apps are great because they update automatically and it keeps you on track with minimal effort. So step two is align. This is about aligning your earning and your spending. I think it's important to look at both sides of the equation, how you earn your money and how you spend your money. If your job feels misaligned with your values and brings you no satisfaction, it's really hard to stay at that kind of job and be productive. Personally, I've found that making small changes makes a big difference. If you can shift your hours or change a location, it can really change your experience of work. Sometimes adding a side hustle that expresses your creativity can be all you need to add greater fulfillment and alignment. Now for the spending part, ask yourself what kind of life you want. What brings you joy? What's non-negotiable? Maybe it's time with your family. Maybe it's more travel. Maybe you want to retire early or create a legacy. Define your own version of success and be specific. The more clarity you have, the easier it is to make decisions that align with your goals. We often shy away from stating our goals because we fear that it's not realistic or we foresee all the roadblocks. But articulating your vision for your life and happiness can be very empowering and liberating. So go all out and write it down just for yourself. Remember, stress often stems from misalignment. When how you earn or how you spend doesn't reflect your values, it creates tension. You're working hard but not feeling fulfilled, not making progress towards your goals. That's the path of burnout. So take time to evaluate where and how you can bring your earning and spending into better alignment with your values. Step 3 is act. Now you're ready to act on your vision. This is where your financial plan takes shape. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Here are 5 fundamentals to financial well-being. First, you'll earn. So think about how you can increase your income or side hustle or renegotiate your contracts to get better compensation. And then you'll need to save. So automate your savings and make sure you create an emergency fund so you're not caught off guard. And then learn tax saving strategies. As Morgan Housel says again in his book, your savings rate is more important than your income. Next, invest, whether it's stocks, real estate, retirement accounts, invest in something you understand and believe in. Good investing isn't about earning the highest returns, it's about earning good returns and staying consistent. Get the right insurances in health, disability, life, and umbrella insurance. Now these all might look like added costs, but these are really important. And make sure you understand the terms. Don't buy complex policies that you don't understand. And avoid debt. Pay off high interest debt and limit debt on consumer products like your house or car. If you can, use leverage or debt to buy income producing or appreciating assets, meaning that asset is producing more income than the debt payment. And remember, you're not a robot. You're a human being with emotions and aspirations. Your culture, personality, and prior experiences shape your relationship to money. So don't sweat it if things aren't perfect. Just start from where you are and align your future actions with your values and goals. Here's what I want you to take away from this. You're not alone and you're not at fault. You've simply lost sight of what's most important to you. Regaining control over your finances comes from defining your vision of success. And it's not for anyone else to decide what that looks like. You get to choose. So decide to take back control today. Take inventory of your life and finances, state your values and goals, and create a plan of action. Get clear on what you truly want and take consistent steps to build the life you envision. So if you're ready to start that journey, you need to redefine success. Get clear on what you want and take consistent steps to build the life you envision. So if you're ready to start that journey, make sure to like and subscribe for more and share this with a doctor who needs to hear it.